Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is the crazy story how this motorcycle was stolen and how it was recovered. Let's get into it. Cue the intro. So we're here. This is quite a big day for us both. I mean, especially you, but it's a big day for us both. But for anybody that's not seen the channel, explain about the bike first.
So, Franken Bike, as it became known, was a project that I brought in over one of the COVID lockdowns, and I actually got ripped off, paid too much for it. Found out it was knackered, so I then went and brought another knackered bike, and I spent hours and hours, weeks and weeks, making one semi-decent bike out of the two. And I've put a lot of effort into this bike, loads and loads and loads. And some people wouldn't have bothered because, to be honest with you, it wasn't worth bothering with. Most people just think I'm stupid for doing it, but I did it, and I really like that bike just because I've bonded with it, the amount of time I've spent on it, and eventually, 2 weeks ago now, I eventually got the last piece of it all sorted out. I had the carbs put on, and that cured a lot of the little problems, and it was sorted.
That bike, didn't it? Just to be clear, you ended up buying two bikes,
yeah,
and it took you months, and I mean hours of labour, and you were trying to get it right, and you were working on it, and you've literally built it nut and bolt in the end.
Yeah, it's been stripped down in sections into, I've taken bits off of that one, and it has been stripped completely into pieces. The engine was out. Did the head gasket and the water pump seals in the engine. I did a load of other bits and bobs to the engine. The engine's had a load of work. It has been a complete labour of love. The wiring loom, I had wiring issues, swapped the wiring loom over. It fought me every step of the way, didn't it? It was a complete pain in the arse. And it's been on a couple of little adventures, hasn't it? And
well, that's the biggest thing in it. When you took it on, especially the last adventure, you were like, it works properly. When we did our little video together, and anyone can go back and see it, you can see the stages that you went through. But when we took on that adventure, you were really proud because you'd built it, and you were like, I finally got it. It finally works properly. And you got sent some carbs, and everything just came together, didn't it? And we were looking forward to a proper adventure on this bike. So go forward now to, you were dead happy with the bike. So you'd gone to work, you'd done a proper full day.
5 days ago, so it's now, well, it's 6 days ago now, so it's Monday now. It was the Tuesday before. I came home from work, and as I was on my way home, I was riding the Vespa home. And I'm riding along, I can feel my phone ringing in my pocket, but obviously I can't do anything about that. And I pulled round the top of my drive, and as soon as I pulled round the top of the drive, the top of the garage door was hanging open. And from that point, I knew something was going, this wasn't going to look good. And as I came down the drive, I was taking my helmet off and stuff, and then in the wind, the door opened fully. And that was it. I knew straight away, as soon as I put my head in, the bike was gone.
So that door just there. So you've reinforced this massively since. This has got bits of steel and all sorts on.
Yeah.
But they basically, to get in, they'd broken a panel, hadn't they?
Yeah, they'd pulled the panel out the top. Behind here, there's some wooden panels. They'd ripped the panel open, then they'd leant through, pried all the locks off, and opened the door. And literally, there must have been, they were in and out as quickly as they could be. All my tools were left. There was a GoPro on the side. Everything else, all my helmets, everything, all left.
They literally must have seen it.
Yeah.
Targeted it. Knew that was at the time what you didn't know, but it was an easy get in. They broke in, and it was literally a grab and go.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to change places. So from there, from that moment you came in and found it, what happened next?
Well, obviously, heart sinks as these things do, and first of all, ring the police, and then I rang a couple of people. My neighbour, he's a really good guy. He was the one that was trying to ring me on the way back. He'd got here a few minutes beforehand. I put posts straight on social media because that's the easiest way to find things these days. So the local residents pays, has anybody seen it? And then literally, as soon as I'd done that, I screwed the door shut and I took off looking for it because I knew it was going to be, nobody's going to steal that bike because of its value. It's not going to be a professional bike thief. This is just going to be the local youths doing it because they want to go and rag it around the fields. So I took off in the direction where I thought it would be, and sure enough, as I'm going down the footpath there's a footpath that goes out and takes you out into some fields, and I knew this was probably going to be the route, and sure enough, there's skid marks on the footpath where it looks like they've tried bumping it, and obviously the back wheels locked up, left some marks, and then as I've gone through into the field, they're my tyre tracks. So I'm off across the fields as quickly as I can, and I keep hearing bikes in the background. And then as the field opens out, I can see tracks in the field and etc. And so then I by that time I think I had to come back. But all that night I'm going out and I'm checking places, and there's certain places round near us where I know, criminal activity is probably going to be going on. There's sort of camps, and when I say camps, people are going to know what I mean by that. But I don't want to tarnish people because, a lot of people on these camps are fine. But anyway, so I go up there at night. It's getting late by this time, and I keep getting reports of hearing it. And I've gone up there and I've gone into this field, and I can see my tyre tracks around there. But it's getting dark. I'm on my own, and I'm not that brave that I'm now going to go into somewhere on my own trying to chase this bike. So I leave it. I come home, laying in bed at night. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? It's got to be up there. So in the morning, I get up early, really early. I go up there again, and there's more tyre tracks than I'd thought, and I could see, and I know that they're my tyre tracks because I'd fitted the tyres the week before, and I know that there's not going to be another bike in this area with those tyres on in that field. It's just not going to happen. So I'm going in, tiptoeing around, and I start going into this place, and I'm looking around, and I'm then starting to get very nervous because I think they've stolen it. They're obviously not going to be bothered. So if I get caught in there, what's going to happen to me? So I come out and I do the decent thing and I phone the police. We think that the police went up there because they were seen about, but we've later discovered that it was put in the back of a van and taken over to a town called Corby. But in the meantime, we're kind of looking for it. Things are going on social media. We're getting all sorts of people getting interested in it. People are coming out looking for it. The police then get involved. A couple of days go by, and I can't remember if it was it Thursday or Friday. But there's all sorts of things. You all of a sudden it goes quiet. You don't hear anything, and you think, right, it's gone. And all of a sudden there'll be another piece of information, and you'll be off and we'll be looking for it.
Well, we were getting, weren't we, on the social media side of things? We were getting pictures sent of youths riding the bike around Corby.
Yeah.
And we were both at work, and then obviously as soon as you were free, you were shooting over there, seeing if you could see it, and more reports of it, and more reports of it. Yeah. So every time we were like, it's gone, we know that it's being ridden, it's being seen. Someone even said that they were doing wheelies through like the main town on it, so it was getting seen a lot. And
so a lot of people are coming forward and they're offering to help. And like I say, I got a phone call from the police in that area, and they said, we've seen all your social media posts. What we're doing is we're running an operation, and all I deal with, this policeman, he said, all I deal with at the minute is stolen bikes. I've recovered 36 so far in 6 months. We've seen the publicity yours has got. We pretty sure we have ideas of who are going to have this bike. We're going to do our best to try and find it for you over the weekend. So brilliant. I've actually got some confidence back, and I'm thinking this is going to happen. So that was Friday. And then Friday night, there's some guys that messaged me, and they've said they've spotted it and stuff. So Friday night, I go over to Corby and I meet up with these guys. They're making some phone calls. They've got friends making phone calls, and it's kind of people, people who know people and things like this. And there's all these phone calls going on, and there was names mentioned and more names mentioned, and it could possibly be here. And so then at 9 o'clock at night, we're walking around some of the very rough areas of this town, looking for it, looking in under stairwells, looking in all these sorts of places, and
putting yourself at quite a lot of risk.
It's getting very dodgy because people in this area, they're walking around, the hoods up. We don't know what they're carrying. But luckily there was a number of us, so we felt fairly secure. But it's not a place you want to be going on your own, looking for something that's stolen, because these are rough areas and rough people.
Yeah, we don't recommend doing this. There's some red mist going on, isn't there? You're desperate to find it.
Yeah, it's more the fact of what I've done with that bike, because people would say, just let it go, forget about it. But I've just finished building it. I've bonded with that bike. It has no value to these people. All they're going to do is wreck it. That's all my hard work. They're just going to ruin it, and then they're going to set fire to it. And I had to do what I had,
You had to try to find it,
to try and find it.
For your own sort of mental health as well at this point.
So, and then over the weekend, we'd gone over there, trying to think, you'd been out looking for it as well. Loads of people have been out looking for it. So Saturday it kind of went a bit quiet. I've come back home, I've resecured all my garage, I've put all the metal sheets up and everything.
So this is the moment, isn't it, that you basically put loads of metal sheets over, loads of new locks to just try to make it more secure as possible.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to now think, because it's just been so much. Saturday evening, So the guys who I'd been out with, they knew, and obviously they'd been speaking to people, and obviously words got around, and then somebody's realised that, you know, this bike, although it's not worth anything, obviously is worth something to somebody. So they get messages back.
A lot of people have got involved, haven't they? So they're finding out that it's all over the place.
So somebody has sold it on, and somebody who's now got it supposedly brought this bike off a criminal as a stolen and recovered project and thought he was going to get a logbook for it.
Also, at that point was when the news article came out in local press as well, and that had got shared even more so.
Yes.
So this had got something like over 180,000 sort of clicks on the actual post about it going missing.
Yes. So this person who's got this bike now has realised that they've bought it is actually a proper stolen bike, even though we found out later, which we'll see in the condition of it in a bit, we'll probably explain then, but he's realised that this is actually a proper stolen bike. He's worried now, he wants to try and offload it. He's heard that we're looking for it, and he says, messages come back via people, you know, as a third party, somebody tells somebody, you can buy the bike back for 250 quid.
This is on the Saturday night?
This is Saturday night. My first initial reaction was, I don't want to, but I'm going to have to. But the more I thought about it, the more this was now annoying me, and I was getting angry about this, because I thought, somebody's stolen my bike.
And now you're being played.
I'm starting to hear the condition of it, things that's happened to it, and I'm just, on principle, I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. So Sunday, we'd heard more reports of where it could possibly be.
You had passed all this on to police as well, so there's another thing people need to know is that all this information is being passed. The case is getting built and built and built and built.
So the police that are involved, I've got a direct number for them. I'm phoning them, giving them updates on what's going on, what I've been told, things like this. And these guys, to be fair, they've taken everything on board. They know the local tow rags, they know the area.
They were already going around people's houses, weren't they? They're already going gardens of names that they had.
Yeah, any names that pinged up, they were going and checking this out straight away. So Sunday morning, we'd heard that possibility of it being kept in some woods, unlikely because it's gone quiet, and we think it might not be there because it's been there now quiet for so long, nobody's seen it. But we went for a walk Sunday morning, didn't we?
We went for a long walk, didn't we? Went everywhere.
But you know, that was it was kind of, we knew it was going to be a bust straight away, didn't we? Because it was too well trodden. There was too many people.
But we just needed, because of the report, we wanted to follow up on it, didn't we?
It's ticking things off a list, isn't it? It's narrowing down these fields of where it could be. So anyway, we come back Sunday afternoon. I'm cooking Sunday dinner. I'm starting to. Things are just playing on my mind. It's really bugging me now because it's gone quiet. Still haven't found it. So it's all gone quiet. I had a few beers Sunday afternoon, not gonna lie, while I was cooking the dinner. All of a sudden, I get a message on my phone from the policeman. We think we've got your bike. We're going out to pick it up at 9 o'clock at night. Will you be able to collect it? Obviously, I'd had too much to drink by this time. I'm like, now what we're going to do? I rang Alan. Alan, the possibility you can get the bike. Have you been drinking? Fortunately, you were sober, and you agreed to get it. So that was it. And the policeman said, as soon as we know, I'll let you know. So time's ticking by, and we're sitting there, and it's now 9 o'clock. He said it was going to be 9 o'clock. I think you messaged me at 15:15, didn't you? Any news? No, still nothing. I think it gets to 5:30. All of a sudden, ping on my phone. It's the policeman. There's a message. Come and get it. Here's the address.
So now,
yes,
we will go to that because we recorded some of that. So we're going to go to that now, and we're going to show you that exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So right now it's really late at night. This is happening really, really quickly. But basically, a sting operation has just happened. The police have got the Sidekick's bike. He's over there. I've jumped in the van. This is absolutely nuts. So many people have been involved. So many leads, and this has happened. That's incredible because it's been days and days and days. We've got to be really quick. So we're now heading, hopefully, to pick up the Sidekick's bike. Thank goodness for the police.
Let's go. Come on.
We need to go.
Let's go. So, Blake Road, Birch Avenue. So it's the junction for Blake Road and Birch Avenue. That's Birch Avenue.
We're so close to finding this. This is going to happen. Come on.
It's got to be round here somewhere. So Birch Avenue and Blake Road. It's the junction for Blake Road and Birch Avenue. So keep going. Blake Road. So this is Blake Road. What's that there? Go up.
That's the police car.
Is that a police car there?
So.
I think so, because he said the junction for Blake Road and Birch Avenue. That's it there. Go up there. That is garages. Go around there.
We are so close.
Oh my god!
So close to getting this back. This is a moment. A moment for days and days of hunting, searching. There.
Yes.
That's it.
Right.
Let me just move this back.
There it is!
There it is.
There it is!
Let's back up, mate. Let's get it on.
Oh my god!
Back up, let's get it on. Calm down. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. 300 miles. They've done 300 miles on this.
I think so. Looking at what the mileage is done. Maybe that. I don't know.
How much fuel did you leave in it? 300 miles
Not
worth?
that. I think it's got about the same amount of fuel in it as what it was when it got nicked.
That's incredible. So it's really late at night. We've just got it on the back.
It's 10:30 at night on a Sunday night.
10:30 on a Sunday night. And we've got it in the back. I know this is rubbish on the viewage side of things because of the lighting. Obviously, it's dark in the middle of nowhere. We've picked it up. We've driven literally a few miles away from Corby. But, dude,
I've got it!
we got it back.
We've got it back!
We got it back.
We've got it back! Never ever did we think that was going to happen, did we?
No, Jesus Christ, that was crazy. I can't even put into words how nuts the last few hours have been.
The last few days, it's just been. We'll explain later, won't we? But
well, this is going to be one of those videos where we're going to explain and cut to scenes, and then we'll finish it off. But this is kind of just the reaction of getting it back. And there's loads of things we'll talk about tomorrow. It's not in the best state, but we're stood in the middle of nowhere. It's in the back of my van.
I've got Frankenbike back. I've got the bike that's probably not worth saving. That's been saved again.
We got it.
Saved again.
We
got
it. So after that, now fast forward to the next day. We've both been at work today, and I've had it very, very securely kept for the Sidekick overnight, so we didn't want to put it back in here yet, so it was nice and safe. So he's not seen it in the light, so we saw it in the dark. We had a little bit of a walk around, so this is literally the moment we're going to wheel it out the back of the van and do a proper assessment on the condition and the damage that's been caused. I mean, it's nerve-wracking, isn't it? Because we've had a brief look, you have an idea, but that was in the pitch black. So this is it. Let's get it off. Let's check it out and let's just see if this is a bike that we can save or a bike that we can't save. Let's just get it out and have a look. You've got it, mate. You're right.
The seat was already ripped. I put a patch on it, so I don't know what's happened to that.
That's it. Well, we've put it off the bat and there is a lot of damage, isn't there? Like, it's proper dangerous.
Yep.
Go on, go through all the bits they've done.
So, obviously, ignition's gone.
That's been literally snapped out the back. The wires are down there, and we've just touched two together, and there is ignition lights.
Ignition lights, but it's now not starting. It's not even.
It's just making a whine, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I think the engine's alright. I think it's something to do with the starter motor, but seat lock's been done.
Look at that as well. So what they've done here to try and get into the seat to the battery, I'm guessing they've broken the seat lock, they've broken off bolts. That's a new bolt just there as well.
So somebody's had the panels off this, or some of them off anyway. Top box has been, lock's been done on that.
That's done as well.
Obviously, you can see Peppa Pig sticking out there. They were using that Peppa Pig as a petrol.
So they've prized that off,
Yep.
They've broken that, and they've actually put fuel in it, but to stop it from splashing out, they've stuck a Peppa Pig in
got
it.
more fuel in it than I think was in it to start with.
Biggest thing though, let's just do the rear brake first. So the rear brake, you can see the shoe is hanging off here, so there's no rear brake, so that makes a bit more sense.
Dude, I mean that, I don't know what's gone on with it, but the pad, one of the pads is missing, so now it's pushed the piston out. I think it's leaking brake fluid out.
But yeah, it's probably on full, isn't it?
That's loose, yeah. I don't know
That's been off, I reckon.
I think it has.
And then someone put a padlock around it and a disc lock because they saw it was nicked, trying to do the right thing and phone the police. But in the meantime, they came back. They look like they've either cut or smashed the front disc. There's no caliper at all there now, and they've obviously cut the brake line at the time to get it going again. So there's no rear brake, and now there's no front brake.
Also, back tyre. Oh, round the back here, indicator, rear light.
Indicator, yeah, rear light. That cluster base needs to be replaced, doesn't it? That's had some wear, isn't it?
They've been doing burnouts with it because there's all rubber flicked up there.
Oh yeah, look.
There is brake fluid. I don't know what they've done. The brake fluid has leaked. I don't know what they've done.
Probably from when they've chopped it.
But that is from the brake fluid.
Panel scratched, obviously. Seat ripped. Panel scratched there as well. No mirrors. The mirrors have been taken off as well.
Rear brake levers.
It's been over a few times, hasn't it? That's been bent. You've managed to push it to here and hopefully the engine turn, but we can't start it yet. But I think we're going to have to. Well, there's going to be more investigation done, isn't there, before we even attempt it. To be fair, but it's in a state, innit? I mean, got it basically. It wasn't showroom, let's be honest.
No,
but
it's had scratches. It would look used, but it was.
It was good for its age in the end, and it ran spot on. And now we can't even start it. So let's get inside the garage, mate. So we've just wheeled it in and just trying to lift over the step. Listen to this.
Rear frames.
It could be snapped, couldn't it? It might not be. It could be suspension, but that whole rear frame is going. All those plastics. I mean, look.
Well, there were reports of them being threes up on it. So have they broke something, or have?
I think the biggest thing of it is that we've got it back, and obviously we're massively thankful. We're going to have to. You're going to have to, but we'll do as much as we can together. We need to strip it down and properly assess it.
Bolt's missing out there. That's what that is.
It's not good.
Side's loose.
It's not good at all, is it?
I mean, it is insured, so I will have to have the conversation with my insurance company. But if the insurance company, they'll write it off. That'll be
without a doubt. Yeah, this is a write-off.
Loss.
Yeah.
But I need to have the conversation with them of whether I can, if I pursue the claim, if I can then buy it back, because I know I can put this right. Looking at it now, this is just.
It's a lot of work again.
It's
but
a lot
it can
of
be
work,
done.
which I don't mind. But now it's the costs. I'm looking at it with it not starting. I know I've got to now have this side cover off. I've got to look at the starter motor. I've got to look at the bearing that I've already replaced. Is that gone again? Rear brake and disc. That's got to be done. Obviously, I have got some spares, so it's not too much of an issue. But I haven't got front brake disc. There's stuff on here that I haven't got. Locks. This is. It's not going to be cheap. Is it worth saving? Again, to anybody else, no, it'll be written off. But if I can put it back on the road again, and get it right again, it's another story in this bike's life, isn't it? But at the minute,
well, we've got everything else back on the road, mate. We've had those pans with holes in and all sorts, and we found a way. So
there's always a way. I mean, it's not. The good thing is nothing's bent. As far as I know, I mean the handlebars are still straight, which I'm surprised about. Nothing bent, there's nothing twisted. The engine's free, it's not seized. We've put it in gear and turned it over.
Well,
I can sort it all out.
We'll check back in once we've had a proper look at it, aren't we? Because this is obviously again after the night after we've been at work all day. We're going to want a weekend of stripping it down, having a proper look at it.
I need to.
But it's back.
It's back. Back in my hands, so I can make decisions on what we do with it now. So obviously, like Alan says, this is the next day after we've got it back. There has been a lot of people involved in getting this bike back. The police have been absolutely fantastic with this. I would like to say, they have been really good, and they're not. You're not going to get that response everywhere because the police are not doing these operations everywhere. This is just that
he
lucky.
Actually, when he rang you, he literally said, "I am going to get your bike back."
Yeah,
and he did. What says a lot, I think.
Yeah, and like I say, most people wouldn't bother. As far as anybody was concerned, this was gone. We weren't going to get it. It was just persistence and persistence and persistence in tracking it down. And people have through the Helmet Head channel and everything. People have been out on their bikes, have been riding around looking for it. I've been to meet people. I'm not going to name any names because we got there was things But a lot of people are involved, and I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that's made a nice comment, everybody that shared it, everybody that's been out looking for it, everybody that's taken the time. Thanks very much, really appreciate it. I've got the bike back now. Could be worse, it could have been better, but we'll update you, we'll let you know what's going on with the bike, and that's it for now. Thanks everybody.
Well, I just wanted to take this opportunity just to personally thank every single person that got involved. It is unbelievable. People rode for miles down to go searching for this bike. People shared posts as far as they possibly could on massive groups to get people to keep sharing. It went huge, absolutely huge. And I generally think without all that support, all of that help, and all the leads that basically generated, including getting into the press, the police doing the special operation, it was all because it was so public, it was so out there, that people took notice, and that's because of all of you lot. And I just want to say thank you so much, because as a YouTube creator, to have so many people supporting us, so many people backing us after such, you know, a horrible thing like that bike being stolen, to some of the positive stuff that we've done this channel, like the charity trips and stuff, always blows me away. And this has been another shining example to me about the community this channel has built, the Facebook group, the community on there as well, people sharing it, people wishing us well, people supporting us. It's incredible, and I just want to say a massive thank you. Obviously we're going to get back to getting this bike sorted, and I will go out of my way to help the Sidekick to get that bike back on the road in any way that I possibly can, and I'm sure all of you will support us as well, so thank you. Now I've only got one more thing to say. Keep being awesome, and we'll see you in the next crazy helmet head adventure. Thank you, and take care.
I'm here to take a bullet, standing by your side. I'll do anything for you, anytime. I'll carry